And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second hour of this issue of Halcyon City Defenders. So, the conflict has passed. You escape the park without being harassed by law enforcement or press. And the question then becomes, where do we see you next time? So, we all know that Finn is in a... Finn was KO'd and he'll wake up soon enough. But the question becomes, he is injured all the same. But you do... Oh, you have a sanctuary that has healing powers, don't you, White Sparrow?
I do. Let me just double check to make sure, because, you know, it's not like I've used my sanctuary very much.
I'm surprised that you're kind of like, I do. Let me check second.
It doesn't have healing powers. It apparently has healing equipment, but I guess that's the same thing.
Yeah, what does that look like in your sanctuary? Because in another sanctuary, I could imagine it being like a future tech kind of bedspread. But in yours, I imagine crystals.
Yeah, I think kind of fairy tale-like crystals and nice-looking organic plant things.
Of course. So, like, a Venus flytrap is gonna vomit on him. Okay.
Something like that.
Wonderful. I'm gonna say so. Do we want to cut to inside that sanctuary? Is that the place we're going?
That's fine by me.
Okay. In that case, let's say that the next thing we see is Finn being put down, not as in the but
Oh, God damn it!
being
Bye,
placed
Finn.
on the ground.
Right.
Now I imagine Sparrow, tiny Sparrow, coming, carrying Finn in the, what do you call that pose? The typical "this person has died" pose.
Yeah.
Princess pose, basically. Carrying him
yeah.
like a princess, only he's out.
Because she's super strong. And then putting him in a sort of natural bed of nice soft plants that then immediately start glowing and growing small flowers that shoot healing pollen at him or whatever.
Oh, that's like a really cool image in my head. Like the flowers blooming as you place him down. They like start doing a little flower dance and healing him. I'm into that. Okay, cool. So we see that, and it also becomes immediately clear to us as onlookers what is happening. We see like minor cuts and scrapes like start mending immediately. We see swellings like start going down a bit. It's clear that this will have a rejuvenating effect. Finn should be back soon enough. Since his injuries aren't super traumatically grievous in any way, but it's just like enough bad stuff happened to take him out of the picture for a while. This should be just fine in your opinion.
And then I think she looks to the other two girls and says, I think I'm going to meditate a bit and draw some power from here. This is kind of a power battery for me.
Sure.
Look out for Finn, right?
Yeah. I will.
Also, don't jump in the stream. It's really cold.
And infinite. Ah.
Yeah.
And she, winks when she says the last thing, because in this place it's eternally summer, so... And then she does the whole lotus position hovering slightly above the ground thing.
Of course. Makes sense to me. So, where is Starlight in this picture?
Starlight eyes Mrs. Show Off, hovering in a off the ground thing.
Just like looking at her quizzically.
Yeah, show off.
For effect, I think she'll start glowing.
Yeah, show off.
Like trees just like seem to like bend a little bit to form a crown above you. Just.
It's like it's like a lens has been applied to everyone's sight that gets clearer whenever they look at Sparrow, and her hair kind of drifts dramatically in a non-existent wind.
Yeah. If in like the real life action version of this shot would be that kind of shot where the camera dollies backwards, but they change the focus on the lens. So the background, like, you come into focus while the background distends.
Yeah, something like that. She looks at her quizzically for a little moment, then looks to Diamond. You all right?
Diamond is sitting next to Finn because she's just been told to, make sure he's all right. So she does that. She's sitting next to him. She's staring at her hands, unblinking.
She doesn't need to.
Exactly, but she normally does. She's just staring at her hands, and she's picking up whatever, there was a small stream, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's picking up small rocks from, the bottom of the stream. She's sitting right next to it. And she's crushing them one by one in her hands into, gravel, basically, and just dropping it and picking up the next one. And it seems almost like she's doing it. It seems almost robotic. Funny enough, it's mechanic in a way.
It has a tone of introspection.
No,
okay.
Not so much introspection. Well, I can see why you would
automation.
think that. Automation, but more. She's in a horrible place right now.
Yeah, a bunch of bad emotions.
She's in an awful place, and she's looks like she's trying to remind herself of her own strength. Look, I can break these rocks with my hands. And she keeps doing that to remind herself over and over and over and over again that she can do that.
Yeah, of course. Like you were in a pressured situation where you had to keep everything under control, but still dealing with a lot of like really bullshit and awful emotion. And now that you don't have the pressure on you, right? Like
exactly. And the problem in that situation for her was that normally she can punch her way out of things. Normally she can use her strength to get out of a situation. In this case, she couldn't. It failed her.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
That's what's caused all these screwed up emotions.
But of course, that makes total sense, right? Like, as of that moment, the world would seem scarier and larger.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense because the one thing that she has to rely on, that she knows she's got, failed her completely in that situation, and it's left her feeling insecure because if I can't do this, then what can I do? It's made her afraid because, oh my goodness, what if this isn't going to be enough anymore? She's angry because it should be enough, damn it. And she feels guilty because people were getting hurt and she couldn't do a damn thing to help them.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I think, like, in the terms of, how comic books are generally told.
Yeah.
I feel like, just to lift it up a bit on the meta level, I feel like as the viewing audience of this comic book, I also enjoy watching your characters do stuff. I have experienced Diamond very much as like some kind of like figure of steadiness. There's been like a pillar in a sense. There's been like uncertainty going on within her, but very much he's been like, she's kind of been this like a wall for the group to at least like lean on. And now this fits in a comic book spectrum of that sort of character stepping into the bigger leagues and being like, oh fuck, like Doctor Doom exists in the Marvel universe. I didn't realize that, right? Like that kind of space. I can clearly imagine where your character is at. So cool stuff. So this happens. We take a moment here where White Sparrow is entering meditation and
I suppose you could say that so is Diamond.
Yeah, in a sense. And Diamond is crushing rocks.
Yes.
What do you do? Because I'm imagining you're kind of between them, right? Like Starlight, there is something going on at both ends here. So what do you do? Do you engage with any of them, or do you go and do your own thing?
Who are you talking to now?
You Starlight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because you're the only one
you're the only one.
Yeah, you're the only one who's conscious and who isn't either crushing rock or hovering.
Yeah, I were about to do something, but I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Do you know what you want to do? That isn't that thing you just lost the train of thought about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, while she's playing Rock Crusher or Jens Weimann,
yeah,
she gets arms around her neck and a hit on one side of her head, resting on her shoulder. You're all right, Diamond.
I wasn't strong enough.
Strength doesn't solve everything.
But it's what I have. And I wasn't strong enough to help. And people got hurt.
Diamond, you also have us.
I know I do. But what I have in this group, we all have powers, we all have abilities. I can't make stars dance. I can't create fantastic things out of thought. I can't conjure up strange and archaic weapons out of thin air. I can't turn into gas. All I can do is lift things and punch things and tear things to pieces. It's not sophisticated. It's not particularly pretty. And it doesn't have to be, because I mean it's useful, I guess.
We just start rambling.
Yeah.
Starlight is nodding and listening, and when there's a pause, she just goes, "Yeah, but what I saw, you actually make it at a dent in that thing, and you also helped outside, even though you didn't get through the barrier. You just have to think outside the box."
I wasn't outside the box until she let me out.
No, but you thought outside it. You did do something outside. You made a little earthquake.
I guess I did. Never done that before. I was so fucking angry.
Yeah, and you thought outside the box. It'll get easier the more you do it. Trust me, there's tons of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
You just need to discover them.
Yeah. I think, I guess I do.
Hey, I didn't think I could actually smile and mean it. And look.
Do you mean it?
Yeah, I do. It's you I'm smiling at, so I mean it.
Oh, you're really feeding the audience here. You do know that, right?
What? Oh, right.
Yeah.
She pouts bigly and says, "I hate you, Diamond, and we will never talk again."
All right. No,
No, my queer fiction. No, come back.
Oh dear.
That's good. So, absolutely, there is something going on here. First and foremost, Diamond, you were totally sharing a vulnerability and weakness here. Very hard.
And I were totally trying to comfort her.
Oh, absolutely, you were. So why?
I don't know if it worked, but
you were sharing vulnerability and weakness here. Give Starlight influence.
Oh, she already has it.
Starlight, please change Diamond's labels.
Okay, I have to look at Diamond. Diamond, come here so I can see you. You locked your danger, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to be sure.
Yes. Danger is locked because danger is important to a bull.
It's important to how you see yourself.
Actually, I think I'm gonna lower your superior with 1 because you were so sure that strength could do everything.
Yep.
And I will up your mundane because you also have to, pierce the mask and look around you and get down to the ground sometime, so you can think outside the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's super
That
solid.
That is exactly what she just told her. Like,
Yeah.
you are
Okay.
very strong. You just need to learn how to use it other ways.
Absolutely.
It has
Diamond.
been. Yes.
Take 2 hold over Starlight, and you can spend these as though they were team.
Yes.
Woohoo!
That means I have 5 hold over Starlight.
Oh shit!
Yes, well, there we go. So, next up, you were trying to comfort and support, and I thought you did a good job of it, and I reckon that Diamond thinks so too. So why don't we have you make a roll, because it seems like this would be reciprocated.
Well, it's at least +1 because I have influence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 0 instead of -1?
Yes.
Fuck. Situational bonus penalty? That would be 1?
Yeah, just roll as you are.
Woohoo!
Wow. Nice.
Looking good. All right, cool. So again, on a hit, they hear you. Diamond. Do you let this affect you? Do you open up to
Yes,
this?
I do. Absolutely.
Huh?
I mean, she is my friend, so yes.
Yeah, and I think we already got like a look into what that looks like. But do you want to like head into the part where you hear her, right? Like
I mean that will definitely result in her. She picks up another rock and she just instead of crushing it, she looks at it for a while and then she just her shoulders slump. And she finally blinks, and then she just, lobs it back into the water. And
do you skip it?
No, she's sitting, so it's kind of difficult to skip it from that position. But she
could probably do it.
Yeah, well, yes, she could probably. Well, if she skips it with her strength, in fairness, she's probably going to send it half a meter into the opposite bank.
I hear this, and immediately I'm thinking in like in heavy-handed symbology, right? Like. Crush, my strength failed me, crush, I am just my strength, and then you get like, no, you're not just your strength, and then you do something finesse, right, like that.
Well, I guess, but I don't know, I don't think she's skipping it. She's just gonna look at the rock with this whole, I don't need to crush this to prove a point.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
and again, she takes a deep breath and slumps, and I guess I can remove a condition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can.
And just the one, right?
Yes.
Yes. In that case, she's
and
going
I get to clear 1 too.
Yes. She's gonna remove insecure.
Awesome.
Because that's the thing she was insecure about is the whether strength would be enough.
Hmm?
And that's gone. It doesn't mean she's not afraid, guilty, and angry, but it does remove some of it at least.
Yeah. And of course, you clear a condition yourself.
Yeah. She reaches up and takes Starlight's hand because she said she put her arms around her neck from behind.
Yeah.
She reaches up and takes her takes her hand and just squeezes it and says, "Thanks. I needed to hear that."
Somehow I knew that.
Such sweeties.
You know me better than anyone, I think. I think sometimes you know me better than I know myself, which is a little scary. Just a little.
I'm just going from hunches here. Don't give me that much credit.
So
yeah, your hunch is pretty good.
When you say like, I think you know me better than I know myself, which is really scary. The next picture from that like lingers on what you just said, right? But the speech bubbles are smaller. We've pulled away from you, and we've approached White Sparrow. Yes. And we linger on a shot of White Sparrow, and we get closer and closer until we widen out again and see that the surroundings, as far as White Sparrow are concerned, are a bit different from what you see around you. Because White Sparrow, you are hovering in your meditative position. But you have blocked out the interruptions in your sanctuary, and so instead you are in this like a bit different looking naturescape, you know, like a parallel universe version of the area the others are in, where we imagine you like in your mind palace, and as you're sitting there, we see the silhouette of Mind's Eye come into view behind you, over your shoulder, wordlessly just standing there, not saying anything, but you become aware of their presence.
I think Mind Sparrow opens her eyes and steps down onto the not ground and turns around to look.
So we've established that when last you looked at Mind's Eye, an identifying character trait of hers was piercing green eyes. What is another character trait of yours? Like, if you were to describe yourself, like, very on point.
Huh?
If you were to describe yourself, like, your character's physical appearance, what would be, like, something that people would point to, be like, oh, yeah, that's, like, anything that identifies you? Like, do you have a very, easily identifiable jawline? Do you have something about, like, your hair curls a specific way?
Well, I guess she still has quite we call it girlish features. You know, very, you know, heart-shaped face, and I think I'll take from the early look things and say she has steely eyes. That's
Yes.
usually something people might note, an expression.
So we see like the vaguely lit, not at all completely clear figure of Mind's Eye. Green eyes, looking steely. In a kind of, you know, reflection of someone in particular, right? Like,
But to say Mind's Eye is actually you, just older.
time travel. Well, we've actually opened that can of worms already, so who knows? But yeah, so you look at Mind's Eye, who doesn't say anything, but you can feel her in the back of your mind. Her presence is hard to ignore.
Omnipresent. I'm bad.
It's okay. You're allowed to be bad sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm bad all the time.
Well, I think just because some silence passes, and then Sparrow kind of does the yes.
Why do you ask? You called me here.
I didn't realize I did.
What worries you, child?
A lot of things.
I can see that. The problem, she says, clearly referencing your condition, seems to have grown since last we spoke.
Yeah, I told Diamond about it. And as you know, that makes it worse.
Why did you make that decision?
She was... Well, I think she was going to figure out that something was going on either way, and I guess it was easier.
It doesn't seem like it has been hard for you to lie to everyone else.
Most people are happy to believe what is most convenient.
Most people.
Diamond doesn't seem that type.
So that is why you did it? For Diamond?
I don't know.
No one knows if you don't know.
Well, I guess we should find no one then.
Is that why you called me here? To find no one?
I guess. Are you no one?
So when you look to Mind's Eye now, instead of having her hands folded in her robe, now instead one of the hands is down by her side, like a little bit out from her side, and she's holding something palm-sized and circular, but you can't make out what it is.
What's that?
What's what?
What are you holding?
Holding is a quizzical term. I am not holding anything. I am not here. You, on the other hand, you're holding on to something heavy.
I think Sparrow goes closer and reaches out for her hand.
You go and reach for her hand, and we just see you reach, and in the panel, your fingers are about to touch whatever is in her hand. And in the next panel, she's in the foreground, and you're like way in the background with your back to her.
I guess I don't get to see my problems then.
It is not whether or not you get to. No one can stop you from seeing your problems but yourself.
So you're saying I'm in denial?
That's in Egypt.
I mean, I think I'm pretty honest.
Why would you be in denial? What have you done that you might deny?
I stand by everything I've done recently.
Is that true?
That's a complex thing to answer.
Yes, it is.
Because she definitely has convinced herself that what she did was the best and is justified and, yada yada.
Yeah, has she? There's an absolute there, because there's definitely a difference between repeating it to yourself often enough that you can start repeating it back and having actually convinced yourself.
Oh, that's a very good question. I will say yes, she has convinced herself that what she's doing is the right thing because it stops more people from getting hurt, not necessarily her.
Interesting.
But she's always been the kind of person to, she would rather get hurt herself than have other people get hurt.
Is that what you say in response to the question?
Yeah, I think she says, what I've done minimizes who gets hurt. As long as it's just me, then, well, I don't know if it's even real hurt in the end. Anyways.
So it's okay to prevent others from being hurt, but not yourself?
Well, I mean, if I could do both, that would probably be better, but...
Then why are you surprised that I'm here?
Well, I don't really understand you. You just kind of pop up and say I've summoned you, and I never have.
It seems to me that I'm here every time you have something burdening you. Not always can we find the answers to what those burdens might be, but it seems clear that there is something. Perhaps you will speak of it to me in the future. And she turns around, and the thing annoyingly is like still diffuse in her hand.
I think Sparrow calls out to her, "Wait."
Yes.
There is something I've been considering.
She doesn't speak, but it's a kind of silence you're used to. It means you should continue.
I'm one half of a whole.
Are you?
At least that's my current understanding of it. And I've begun using some of Raven's powers every now and again, but I mean, I've mostly been able to control it. I don't know if it's bad or if it's like any other weapon where it really matters how you use it and for what purpose, or...
Is that what your powers are?
What?
A weapon. Is that what your powers are? And I think Mind's Eye is currently Diamond, still holding a weirdly diffuse object in her hand.
I guess we are quite alike in that regard then, because I am my powers, and I think it's more accurate to call them a tool.
Interesting. So you are your powers, and your powers are a tool. What does that make you a tool for?
Saving people.
Is that what you're doing? Saving people? And I think she's currently the clone of Monica. Still holding something annoyingly diffuse in her hand.
I'm trying to. It's not always easy, and I do mess up. But I'm trying to.
And is that good enough? Trying to?
Well, that's what I've begun. If I channel Raven, I get so much more power. Perhaps I would stop having to try to and could just do, but
So
on the other hand, someone might get hurt if I can't control it.
Can you control what you're doing now? Is control real?
Oh wow, that just got zen.
I think Sparrow's expression is annoyed. You never talk straight to me.
If you needed straight talking, you wouldn't need to talk to me.
Who would I talk to then?
I don't know. She says, being your parents both. Who would you talk to then?
Oh, ow. Ow, 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 ow.
Sparrow is doing the stunned silence.
Sparrow, do you have the guilty condition already?
Yes.
Yeah, otherwise I would have strongly suggested you took it.
I don't know. I mean, I could talk to Starlight and Diamond, and they have some experience, but for the most part, Starlight's been so afraid to use her powers. She's barely, and Diamond has enough on her plate.
So you are alone then? It's just you, the tool, and your powers, the tool.
I
Tools of the tool.
guess. I mean, if I don't want to burden anyone, I suppose I should go at it alone.
And what would you gain from going at it alone?
I don't think I would gain anything. I
But
mean,
others would.
yeah.
Interesting. The object is still unknowingly diffused, but she's back to being herself. I wonder what you will do for others. And when you will have to do for yourself. And when those two will seem too far apart to reconcile, yet impossible to accomplish without the other.
Well, let's hope it doesn't get to that.
You can hope.
That's one of the few things I'm good at, I guess.
We shall see how far hope will take you. And she vanishes. You wake up. The girls are drawing on Finn.
Ha! What are you guys doing?
Well, apparently Diamond thinks I can pull hoodies out of my ass.
No, I'm about to answer.
So, what are you actually doing?
Drawing on Finn.
Yep. So what are you drawing? And what do you
have
say when...
So far, okay, we can. I mean, now that we can swap over here. The point is, of course, that Finn is lying there being all beatific, and in the meantime, Diamond has taken a golden marker that Starlight offered her, and she has painted the most incredible handlebar mustache on him, complete with a little triangle on his chin. And she has used the gold marker on his eyebrows as well, like an eyebrow pencil. And she's now hoping that that maybe Starlight has another color of marker as well, because please have either black or red, either or will do, because then she's got another idea. But other than that, she's taking the golden marker and she's writing across his chest in big bold, he's lying there being all prettified. So she writes across his chest in gold lettering, "Fabulous."
Are you dot matrixing this? Are you is this a I'm a robot moment, or is this a human moment?
This is very much a human moment.
Okay.
And meanwhile, we have Starlight, who took off her oversized, very long pink hoodie and tied it around his neck as a cape.
Yes.
Adorable.
He is now Captain Fabulous.
Oh.
She goes over and rummage around in the hoodie's her hoodie's little pocket and finds a red one there.
Yay!
Oh.
So she marks his, she gives him big red cheeks.
Yeah. It seems like your question is being answered by the circumstances here, White Sparrow.
Yes, and I think she does. She smiles and says, "Ooh, ooh," and then waves her hand.
Yes.
And the healing flowers forms into a pretty flower crown.
Yes.
Finn,
and then Diamond takes a couple of pictures. All she has to do is blink.
Yeah. So let's get to that. So, Finn, you have this dream of like an anteater licking your body. And as you come to, there's a bright flash of light from a camera blitz.
Yeah, and it's from it's literally Diamond's eyes blitzing.
Oh,
And you
hello,
wake up.
Sleeping Beauty.
You are sleeping, or you are waking up, placed in some kind of field of flowers and grass.
My goodness.
First of all, he starts coughing.
You
Suddenly, his breathing is different.
Finn, I am pleased to tell you this, but you have never looked better.
He squints his eyes like.
Actually, that's
No.
true. When I was, patching you up, you suddenly went pling, and then you all prettified.
Yes. So you have never looked better than you do at just this moment. Isn't that true?
Don't worry, we gave you a new superhero outfit.
Yes, yes.
You'll
Don't worry,
love it.
I have a picture. Actually, I have two.
Why?
Why are you so hesitant? It's okay.
Yeah, he gets up of the flower bed thing. He rubs his face before looking into any reflected surface.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. He rubs
There
his
is
face.
there is the stream right next to us.
Ah,
The babbling brook.
why? Why I don't trust you? Or
I don't-
he just suddenly realizes, shakes his head. So I assume the fight is over.
Yes.
Did we win?
Well,
They ran.
Either we won, or you're in heaven.
What happened to his face? I don't
I'm not
think
in
it's
heaven. You all are here.
Hey, fuck you.
So you're basically saying I'm the devil.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, Diamond, that's me. You can
Damn
be
it.
my imp.
Aye!
Sure.
If anybody is going to sit on anybody else's shoulder of the two of us, I think we can agree that you're going to be sitting on mine.
Why? The other way around would look funny.
But the devil isn't supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Well, who
in
made
the
that
meantime-
silly rule?
The devil?
Yeah,
Well,
Finn
if
in
we're the devil, we make the
stretching.
rules.
Okay, what does Finn do while we bicker about the devil and his...
Yeah, he's just stretching and doing some popping in this stuffs in the sockets and stuff. It's like
Yeah, like just give the
Yeah.
body an old stretch.
yeah, it's like well, I seem to miss a party. Yeah,
I wouldn't say you've missed the party. You've been the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't worry. I've got
Just-
two really, really good photos of you. You look. I have to say, I mean, objectively speaking, I'm probably not the best person to judge this, but I think you probably tick off, I would say, 13 out of the 17 boxes that are necessary to be cute while sleeping.
What are the last 4 that he doesn't tick off?
He's not a baby.
well,
Uh,
that's
wasn't-
arguable.
He wasn't actually smiling.
uh-huh.
His eyelashes or eyelids rather weren't fluttering, and he didn't make content and pleasurable little noises.
Yeah, it was just grunting of.
Exactly. Actually, the grunts counted, against you, but
Yeah.
still, the rest of them
Fair
were
enough.
enough.
Isn't having a puppy one of the things from that list, though?
No, you don't have to have a puppy while you are sleeping to be cute.
Oh, okay.
So he just grabs his head. It's just like, so what did you do?
Well, I can show you if we can find a computer screen. Does somebody have a smartphone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's in the pocket and he's wearing my shirt.
Yeah, but just take it out, and then Diamond sends the 2 photos to her smartphone.
There you are in all your glorious.
As you can see, we have found the perfect secret identity for you.
Oh, man.
When you need to, actually, I was thinking about Captain Fabulous. When
but-
when you need to escape your mommy monster.
So there's this interesting thing about the pictures, right? Like it's clearly a picture of you having been made the victim of their shenaniganry, but you also look a bit different in the pictures. Like it kind of looks
It
like
isn't all the things we've done that's making you look weird.
Yeah, no, you look kind of photoshopped.
He looks at this picture like. At first, he's shaking his head, but then he start noticing the the inner layer of the thing. It's like, weird. I look different, and not because of the marker.
Mm-hmm. And I did not Photoshop that, by the way. I'll take responsibility for a lot, but not for that. So that is actually how you look.
That's
Yeah,
curious.
we can't Photoshop you, but we can give you eyebrows, fabulous ones.
Yeah, but
I have my own. Thank you very much.
Don't worry about it, Finn. It's fine. It's just that your stones finally dropped. She says it's with a friendly smile.
And he's like, hey, you should know by now. You as far as I remember, you all seen my stones.
Yes, we have.
They did not need dropping.
Well, apparently they did, because you suddenly grew up.
Well, that might be because you've been crushing stones by the river.
Oh, that's right. I was crushing his stones.
Apparently, not having stones make you pretty.
I know that White Sparrow like very deliberately isn't the character Raven, but I can't help but, like, in this situation, imagine something similar to Teen Titans, of like a little rain cloud appearing over White Sparrow's head and just like the brow slowly growing heavier and just like sliding out of frame. Like, so, I'm not part of this. This is stupid.
Entirely possible, but Rasmus
She
is
went
not
to pee
at the screen right now, so.
Well, he's then like, oh, I suppose I have to get it off me now. Thank you very much.
Good
And
luck
he's
with that.
like-
It's permanent marker.
I'm sure that they have some magic marker removal at individual. I cannot imagine.
I have stuff in
Either that, or we have alcohol at back at the arcade, so you can use that to wash it off. But
Actually-
you have some scratches on your chest, so that's probably gonna hurt.
Speaking of the speaking of places that we could go,
Yeah.
I need to go and figure something out. The lady that we are fighting, the witches, I suppose. They look awfully familiar.
They did.
Yeah, he looks at Starlight and at Sparrow like, you don't remember?
Hashtag not all witches.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like the it might have looked different, but the method, the patterns were similar.
Starlight gives you an empty look that says, I have no fucking clue what the fuck you're talking about.
And of course, Diamond wasn't there for the initial first fight, so she has no clue whatsoever.
He is like, Morrigan.
Who's,
You know?
You mean that girl from school?
No, that's
Monica.
That's Monica. Right.
That's under,
But yeah,
Hey,
Morrigan.
it's M.O. What do I know?
No, I mean you wouldn't. You weren't with us.
The witch you wooed.
The,
Yes.
it was the first fight that we actually, well, the first villain, I would say, we defeated as a team.
That was the very first fight together, weren't it?
Yeah.
An entire
Yeah,
city
no.
block fell back then.
Yeah.
Wow. And I thought I was destructive.
I told you I could ruin a city block. I weren't saying that just to be cool. I actually did it.
I think Diamond looks at Starlight with something approximating a new level of appreciation.
He's like, yeah, it's basically long story short. There was these this time anomaly crystals, and the
Yeah.
witch wanted them for some reason, and we basically defeated her. We didn't capture her, but we
She
drove
ran
her
off.
back. Yeah.
So if you didn't capture her, is it possible that this is basically an old, I hesitate to use the word friend, but an old enemy who's come back to make life difficult for you?
Well, they didn't seem to target us specifically.
No, but
No.
they did start talking shit about a catalyst and a guy and stuff.
Huh.
I was standing right in front of them in my berry, and they started talking about, isn't that him? And then a catalyst, and then they went poof. In flames. She looked kind of like you when you get a phone call and you have to pick up with your head. She just put her hands to her forehead and started talking.
Oh, so you think? No, she's not a robot.
I don't know, I didn't open her up.
Finn is like just throwing his hands in the air like magic. I don't know.
Yeah, probably, but she looked like she got a phone call from someone.
Okay.
Well, speaking of, like, I need to do some more. I need to do some reading on this. I think, well, without going to the Vigil HQ, it's the only place that I can think of currently is it's actually my place. There's something that we can use there.
So, when you say, like getting a message and all that stuff, who is currently holding Starlight's phone?
I am.
You notice.
She took it back.
You notice that there is an alert on your phone.
An alert on my phone?
Yeah.
Like somebody's been contacting you.
Oh, I was like, what?
Somebody has tried to call you.
Well, she looks at the alert. What does it say? What is it?
There is an alert from earlier in the day. Your phone has of course been on, like not even on vibrate, but just like off essentially. There's an alert from earlier in the day that they're basically checking in to make sure you're okay, because there has been an attack on the hospital that your mother is in.
Hey, my mother's hospital were attacked. I gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
And then she turns around and...
I'm coming with you. And, well, but Diamond tries to keep up, obviously. Because,
It's not that hard, because Starlight is not super fast.
No.
So the question
She runs with regular speed.
Yeah, you just leg it as fast as you can.
While, powering up to do the poof thingy.
Yeah.
Because with 2 burn I can go anywhere I've been before.
Mm-hmm. You gonna teleport there?
Hey, don't go alone if there's been an attack.
Fine, she extends her hand to whoever would want to go with her.
That worked so well last time.
Yeah, but she's in a fucking hurry. She doesn't have time to think what didn't work last time.
Yeah. So who's going? Actually, let's take note of that. So you're definitely like rushing out of the sanctuary and then going to Mercy Hospital.
Yeah,
but, and we see Diamond is absolutely following. But who else?
Well,
If anyone
we
else.
still have a missing
Yell after him.
Sparrow.
Ask if Sparrow wants to come.
I'd rather not yell after him while he is, doing a very private thing in a very private place. I can now hear that he has just pulled the cord in the very private place. Consequently, it should not be long until he's back.
Well,
there is
if he wants to go, Sparrow could always have, latched onto Diamond or something.
Sometimes your attempts at being polite just makes everything worse.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is the worst. Okay. So we'll just wait a half a second and we'll find out if White Sparrow is following
Does
along.
Finn wanna come and fight in his new outfit?
Yeah. What are you doing, Finn?
Masturbating.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Hi, Sparrow. You wanna come? Not come.
Phrasing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, this is
Not with a you, as in come here, come with us. No. Shut up, you're stupid.
We all come
This is a
together.
service announcement. I am completely and utterly innocent in this, just for once.
So thank you for tuning in to Masks and New Generation. Come back next time for more Archer on CharismaToAC.
Yay!
Sounds like I missed one hell of a body.
No, but it seems the hospital where Starlight's mother has been attacked.
Oh yeah, I'll come along.
Right. So we
Don't come all the way though. That's disgusting.
and what was the case for Vigil?
Finn is like for a moment like thinks about it like, you three can handle it. I think I need to do some research, and
he doesn't want to be seen publicly like that.
Well, he still have to run to his place.
Yeah, I know. I know. Bark, 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 bark.
No
And he just speeds up with your hoodie on.
Yes.
Hey! My hoodie! Fuck that. Run. So now he's wearing a pastel pink hoodie too. Oh, that's also way too small for him. That's so cute.
Adorable.
It's adorable.
All kinds of adorbs.
So we cut to Mercy Hospital, and as you arrive outside, we see like traffic is still moving into and out of the building. Everything is still like moving, but there is a police presence.
Yeah, fuck that. I run inside.
Of course, and yeah, we
Directly
see
to my
from
mother's room.
from the way the picture is like drawn. We have like some heavy shadows going on. There is a different tone in this image, just like from page to page.
Very serious stuff, obviously.
It's getting a bit more serious, definitely. And you rush in. Of course, as you do, you can't just like wander around a hospital. You typically have to be like, "What are you doing here?" Right? And
She's running directly to her mother's room.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I don't think there's any need to make a roll here. You do get accosted by someone who's like, "Hey, where are you going?" And then you're like, "My mother's room," and the person recognizes who you are and like, "Okay, well."
I've been coming there since I've been there. I'm not gonna say that other word again because people will laugh.
It's okay.
You've been there often enough.
Yeah.
She's been a regular visitor there since she was 3 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you arrive at your mother's room and everything seems fine. You don't even see like any police presence on this floor.
And she's still in her bed.
Yeah, she's just lying there.
She sighs deeply and walks over to her mother's bed.
Rain starts falling on the window as you sit down by your mother's bed.
At least it wasn't up here.
Diamond follows her only to the door, and then basically she stops there.
Wanna go
This
look
is-
for the place, or?
No, not
Okay.
so much that, but this is a private thing, and she doesn't want to intrude.
Of course.
So she stops by the door and waits there, so to say, right outside.
I think Sparrow does the same. Assuming I'm allowed to come with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Well, I imagine that Starlight can see them from the bed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess it's just one of those big rooms like we have in Denmark, where the second you're in the doorway, everyone can see you and you can see everyone in there.
Something to that effect. There's definitely like curtains that you can draw and so on.
Yeah. Well, Starlight looks up. Oh, right. My mother.
Well, Diamond looks over and is like, is it okay if we come in? I mean, again,
Yeah,
this is
she's
incredibly
not gonna wake
private.
up and she's not gonna wake up and scold you for it.
Well, Diamond walks over to the bed, pulls up a chair, sits down.
I guess she looks a lot like her mother,
What's her name?
Delilah.
Lila.
You look like her.
Yeah,
Quite a lot, actually.
except the whole cosmical skin thing.
I know exactly what happens in this moment.
She opens her eyes. I'm probably gonna scream and jump out the window.
No, don't worry.
Oh, good.
But it is at the mention of you look like her that we have the light bulb moment. Monica's clone is in this hospital too.
Starlight actually stops there. The attack was on this hospital.
Yeah.
Monica's clone is in this hospital.
She is?
Yeah. I
We
brought
took her here.
This was the logical place to go.
What
course.
floor did they put her in again?
One above.
And everyone seems to be going to and from there.
Well, it's hospital traffic, you know. But when you check out upstairs, that is where the police barricade is at.
And it's probably at her room.
Yep. Red tape
And she's
covering the room.
probably gone.
No. Well, yes and no. So if you, I imagine that like you approach the room. There's yellow police tape. There is an officer of Halcyon City's bright and blue stationed outside. Who the door is of course also locked, like closed, but he's like like open palm gesturing for you to step back, and he's like, please step away. There was an accident here. This area is currently off limits.
An accident? What happened?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Of course.
Do you let this guy turn you away, or do you find another way in?
I think Sparrow says, of course, and sends the other two a look as she then leaves, around the corner, and then silently a fly comes back.
Yeah. Of course, the point was that, and this is important, I just have a small correction. It wasn't actually Diamond who brought her here. She arranged for her to be picked up by the by the
We made sure she was
exactly
brought to
and
someone who could find her and get
Yeah.
her somewhere safe.
Yeah, exactly. That was how it was done. So yeah.
Well, then we were asked to leave, so Starlight walks upstairs. I am pretty sure we have a little fly on the wall who can tell us when it comes back.
Yeah. So do I.
Yep. So you wanna fly in past the cop undetected?
Ha ha ha!
Yes.
Fly in.
So I'm not gonna make a roll for that. So we have just the side of the little fat fly sitting in and
There's an
flying under
echo.
the door.
Sorry.
It's okay. And like sipping under the door, and then alighting on the wall and turning into a person.
I don't think I'm going to turn into a person, immediately until I've scanned my surroundings and made sure it's, not what do you call it? There's no security cameras or
Don't
people
worry,
who can
yeah.
see me or.
I understand. So you fly into a room that is essentially dark. It's unlit. There's nothing to see here. So you have to basically flick the lights on, of course, to see anything. Or create a little light of your own.
I think I'm going to do that one because that's less noticeable, I hope.
And so we get a little crackle
So
of energy on
basically,
your
you're
palm.
not just a fly; you're a firefly.
Yes!
So we see you, like, you fly in, you realize there's no one there, so you're capable of going out of fly mode, so you stop seeing everything in, like, weird prism mode.
Yeah, if no one's in there, then yeah, I'll turn into a person.
Yeah. And you you conjure up energy so as to light the room. And we the first thing we see is like the reaction on your face, which I imagine would be like horrified, but I can't say, of course, because I'm not at liberty to say how your character reacts. But we then see the thing that you're reacting to, which is the hospital bed, and the essentially like burned to ash remains of a human figure. And the cinder, the scorch mark, like that's rushing up the side of the bed and onto the wall, branches out like the wings of a raven.
Yeah, I think horrified with the hands covering your mouth kind of expression is appropriate.
And on that horrifying imagery, 2/3 of the way through this issue of the comic, we take a break, and we'll be right back with more. Don't go anywhere.